I don't know how much the district lines have actually changed. I don't believe they changed significantly in Miami, but this was a +1D district. And it seems like there's not really the effort that's being put in to a seat that technically should be blue, but is basically just being thrown by the wayside. And we see that a lot in party politics, particularly the Florida Democratic Party, where there's a lot of unchallenged seats, much less ones that, in this case, despite what people think, especially in lieu of where the numbers are right now, just being able to have a competitive seat makes it much more beneficial, especially to candidates who may be running for state house. So what is the current status of the race as it pertains to, fundraising, party support, ground game, all of that stuff?
Yeah, so I did not go into my background to embellish and to talk about me, glorify me. I went into my background to paint to a picture, which brings us to the point of the conversation and to your question, right? The status of the race. Well, right now there's 6 people running in this race. There are 3 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and a write-in candidate. Okay, I have a primary. It seems like from what I understand, the other Democrat in the race apparently he's put his name on the ballot a couple cycles before. I don't know. I don't know the guy. As a matter of fact, the media has been asking me, where is he? If I know the guy, if they can find him, because nobody can find him. But regardless, the reason why I run, and this is the most important thing, and I'll answer the other questions because I wanted to point out something that's very, very important now. Over the last 6 years, but mainly the 4 years prior that the former administration was in office, we saw an attack on our system of democracy. Now, I know that we don't have a perfect democracy, but whenever you have an administration, the president of the United States doing everything he can to subvert our system of democracy, our system of vote, disparaging and demarginalizing and further suppressing individuals, we draw exception to that. So Jimenez, who is the incumbent, he's the current sitting congressman. When he was as a former mayor of Miami-Dade County, he was a mayor for 10 years. And he got elected on the premise of being, or the promise of being a moderate, working with all. But we saw as he began to work through his tenure in the county government that he became more of an elitist and more of a one-party guy, although he preached being a moderate. And in his farewell speech, he speaks about his being moderate and working across the aisle. But what does he do when he gets to Congress? Well, we have January 6th, insurrection in the Capitol. And the first act that he takes, it's votes against the certification of the election. Now, party ideology aside, what does that mean to me? I'm a patriot. I've served in the military. I have served on the street. I know what it is to bleed for a country and serve people. I didn't care who, what race, what party lines, what ideology they belong to, what sexual, orientation they were of. I just know that we went to serve. And to have a guy that votes against certifying the election, that means that he is voting against, once again, he did it once in the county. He votes against you and my votes. One of the most precious rights that we have in this country. John Lewis couldn't have said it any better in 1965. It is the most powerful nonviolent change agent that we have in this country. But here's the thing. We can lose it. Because if we don't use it, it's going to be taken away. And that's what we see right now. So the status of the race is my opponent votes to subvert democracy. That vote that I mentioned and so many others that I can point to. And I'm fighting to defend democracy and ensure that we have a better country and ensure that that party line crap, whether it's on the Democrat or Republican side, you have somebody who goes to Congress that's going to stand up for the issues and is going to fight for people's issues. Look, it's no secret people are hurting, right? We know that the economy is the inflationary cost is hurting, has hurt many people. But rather than, I'm going to be bold and I'm going to, excuse me for cursing, but I'm going to and rather than him bitch and complain about how bad the administration is, Why doesn't he introduce legislation to try to fix the problem? He has not. And that's the problem we have, that people who get elected to office, often it's easier for them to freaking lay back and complain about everything that's wrong in the world than to freaking work and try to make a change. I know if I get to Congress, I'm not going to change Congress. I'm not going to correct all the ills of Congress. But you know you're going to have somebody go to Congress that's going to fight.
Yeah. We always said that too. I always said that when we were canvassing and talking to people. You know, it's amazing that people don't expect you to solve all the problems. They just expect you to speak up, fight for them, and be transparent. And if you can do that, then people will support it, even when they know that you're just one cog in the machine that is still not really where we would like it to be in terms of progress.
Absolutely, man. I mean, let's talk about the issues, right? You asked me about the state of the race. So we have about, again, 3 Republicans. They have their primary. I'm sure Carlos Jimenez is going to come out. He's going to prevail there. Then I'm sure I'm going to prevail in the primary. So it's going to be the two of us, mano a mano, if you will. They're going to talk the crap, right? They're going to talk about the socialists, and they're going to label me. I think the route that they have to attack me will be, and I say they because it's more than Carlos, right? Because I know the party doesn't want to lose the seat. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to tie me to all the criticisms of the good and the bad, but mainly the bad, that this administration has endured, right? Or has come out of the administration as they're painting it, or as, they're arguably, there's some things that the positions that the administration has taken that are not the best. So they're going to try to paint me as a Biden Pelosi lover. They can't paint me as a commie. They can't paint me as a socialist. And they can't paint me as a guy that's not going to fight for the public. So that's what we're going to have in the coming months. This probably will be one of the most contested, well, it has the possibility of becoming one of the most contested fights in the country. Not because I think, but let's look at this. We know this seat has flip-flopped. It's gone from, let's go back to David Rivera. David Rivera was the congressman. Then Joe Garcia became the congressman. It went from Republican to Democrat. Then Carlos Curbelo had it for 2 cycles. Who was a Republican. Then Debbie McCarcel defeated him, Debbie McCarcel-Powell, in 2018. And then Carlos Jimenez defeated her. It's a district that Andrew Gillum in 2018 during the midterm won by 6 points. It's also a district that Donald Trump won by 8 points in 2020 during the presidential. So it is competitive. And you mentioned about the district being before like a +R+1. Well, now, I'm sorry, D+1. Now it's 33% Republican, 32% Democrat of the registered voters, but 35% NPA and independent. And those NPAs and independents certainly break with people who are more pragmatic and they want solutions-based.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.